And we're here with Brian, AdventureVanMan. We're going to do a van tour. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your van.
Well, I've been on the road for about 5 years now, and this is my current camper van. I built it as a custom camper. It is a conversion van, so it does have the fiberglass high top, and it had some kind of cabinetry in it that the conversion company did, but I ripped all that out and started with a clean slate. So I've been rolling in this van here currently for about 1.5 years. And before that, I was in a smaller Dodge van for a good 3.5 years. So I've been on the road for about 5 years, and I'd be glad to give you guys a little look at what I've done to the van to make it a comfortable camper van on the road.
And what's this shenanigans you have set up over here?
Well, as you can see, I got a little bit of an outdoor setup as far as my camp goes here. Most of my camper van is self-contained as far as cooking and bathroom usage and all that, but I do shower outdoors. So a lot of times I will shower outdoors without this tent if I'm in a secluded area. But most of the time I set this up, it helps block from the wind and get a little bit of privacy in case there's any passersby. And as you can see, I have an on-demand water heater. This is made by Camp Chef. It's the Triton 5 liter. Needs a propane source, a water pump, and a water source. So I've got my propane tank here, little SureFlow water pump. Kind of a crude looking setup, but it's very effective. I'm in the stages of refining this, so a lot of this part of it may be inside. So I can keep the water pump and propane and water source inside and just have, like, you know, little connectors on the van here. But this is how I have it set up now, and it works really good. After a long day of hiking or mountain biking, it's really great to come back to camp and be able to take a hot shower and get cleaned up before bed. So this is it. It's pretty much self-contained. I can move it around, but it tends to work best about this area close to the van. Shower tent works great. You can zip yourself in there, have privacy. You run the shower head through the side there, and it just works really great. So that's a portion of my outdoor setup. And as you can see over here behind us, this is usually set up near my van where I've got a little table, my water source, a dish pan so I can clean up. A lot of times I will bring my camp stove out here and cook outside if it's not too windy. I also use this weed sprayer bottle. This can also be used as an outdoor shower. This is something I made a video about to how to assemble this. You can pump it up, and it works really good just as a pressurized water system that's self-contained, no power needed. It's empty right now, but if it was full, you'd get a little bit of water out of it. Can use that for washing myself up, washing dishes up with the dish pan. And I also have a little foldable charcoal grill, so I usually keep some charcoal on hand to do some outdoor cooking as well. So this is usually placed somewhere near camp, if not near the van, and it works out really good. Again, I can do pretty much everything I need to do all self-contained in the van, but camping in beautiful places like this in the woods, it's great to do most of things, if possible, outdoors, if weather permits. There are a lot of mosquitoes in this area we're at right now, so if you see me swatting and scratching, that's the reason. So I guess we can move inside and check out the inside of the van.
All right, now we're inside the palace. Tell us a little bit about your setup in here.
Well, welcome. Like I said, this is pretty much all self-built except for this desk. That's a little disclaimer. This desk I actually found on the side of the road with a free sign on it. It's a pretty rickety, I think it was originally from Target or IKEA.
That might be why it was free.
Probably, yeah. But it was the perfect size, and I was running short on time when I was building this out. I wanted to get back on the road, so it went in and is working, but I do plan on building my own custom one somewhat soon. But for now, it really fits the bill. It's got a nice drawer in it to keep all my office supplies. Perfect size here and height for working on my laptop, and it just works out really good. Got a few things set on it. I've got a little USB power center here, the switch for my inverter, my charge controller readout for my solar setup, and this is it. I sit on a little IKEA chair, a little office chair with a pad on it, and I spend a lot of time here when I'm in the van. I can't stand all the way up. As you can see, you kind of have to crank my neck here.
And how tall are you?
I am 5'11". So
don't lie.
I'm 5'11", really. So sitting down here, I'm actually able to accomplish everything I need to right from this chair. I can work on my desk, I can slide it over, bring it up a little bit, be able to cook on my kitchenette here with my dual burner Camp Chef stove. This runs on propane. Do keep a little small propane tank that's refillable in the shelving there, so that lasts me a good few months of cooking every day. A little fold-up table here, which allows me to, do any kitchen prep I need to. I can put a cutting board here and prepare my food, get it over onto the stove. Works out really good, and then it can fold down to just get out of the way, and works out really good.
That teapot is pretty famous.
This is my infamous teapot. It has been in many of my YouTube videos and has provided me with many warm cups of coffee in the morning and tea and whatever else I need hot water for. So what else can we show you?
Tell us a little bit about your lighting in here.
Lighting is LED lighting that runs off my battery bank. Got a dimmer set up on it there, so I've got a total of 4 LED lights that are controlled by that dimmer. And then I've got 2 accessory lights, one over the desk and one at the doorway, so I can turn on when I enter in the dark and don't have to reach all the way over here. And that is my lighting setup.
Do you have any mood lighting?
This will turn on to a blue color, so we can get that nice ambient lighting to set the mood right.
Okay. And what about, do you have, what's in that drawer?
Big drawer here for the kitchen. All my kitchen utensils, cutting knives, tongs, spatulas, serving spoons, plates, bowls, measuring cups, anything I need, all inside this big drawer.
Okay. And speaking of drawers, what do you have up there?
Are you trying to see my drawers?
Everybody wants it.
Okay, speaking of which, I do have my underwear and socks up in these 2 little cubbies here. This is really the only part of the factory conversion setup that's left. They're typically, I think they installed like a TV up in here, and that of course has been ripped out. I just use this for storing stuff like my bicycle pumps and other tools and that. So I got a little trash can down here to dispose of my trash, and then I'm kind of hiding my 12-volt fridge. This fridge used to reside underneath my kitchenette, which I now have just basically, this is kind of my mini garage. I've got a lot of tools and fire extinguisher and stuff. So the fridge is in between the passenger and driver's seat. It is a Costway 54-quart 12-volt fridge, runs off my solar battery bank setup, and provides me with cold food. You can just pop the top there.
What do you have?
Hey, what is this? What is this? MTV Cribs? Right now I've got some ciabatta bread in there because it's been warm. I don't want to leave that out. So.
Ooh, he's got cookies in there.
Keebler Coconut Dreams. We've got some seltzer water and some orange juice, some yogurts, and keeps all my food nice and cold there. That fridge has been working out great. I've been using this fridge for about maybe 7-8 months now, and it's still running strong. Happy with it. I will say, I hate to interrupt you, but I do have that on insulation foam board because the engine is set back pretty far, so this floor gets warm as well as the doghouse in front of it. So I've got some insulation foam board to keep it up off that warm floor so the fridge doesn't have to work extra hard.
And if people want to find out more about the fridge?
I did do a review on the fridge. I'll leave a link for that in the video description, or you can go to Costway's website and look up the fridge. They've got all the specs for it there.
And then for all your adoring fans that might wonder what those license plates are.
History on the license plates. California is where I'm born and raised. San Diego. This is the plate off my first van. I used to travel in a Dodge, small Dodge, the short full-size Dodge van, and converted that to a camper. Saw that in a lot of my first videos. Traveled in that for about 3 years. So that's to commemorate that van. And then also the main plate, which is where my dad's side of the family is from. I took my first road trip back in '02 to Maine in my Chevy Astro van, and that kind of sparked my whole interest in traveling and being on the road. Took me up until about 2014 to really get devoted and to get on the road and in a camper van. So yeah, those are there as just kind of as memories, and I'll probably keep these with me even if I switch vans.
And those front seats, do they swivel?
They do swivel. They both swivel. Of course, now that I have my fridge here, I cannot swivel them. I would have to pull the fridge out. So really don't have a need to do so, although they are comfortable. I sit in this chair most of the time, or I can come and sit on the bed and relax here if I want, or just lay back, kick back and read a book or whatever. And yeah, very comfortable space in here. I feel like I've got a nice clean walkway between the bed and shelving, so I try to keep it as little clutter as possible. And I just feel really comfortable in here. Like, this is my happy place.
It's home.
It's home, and home is where the heart is.
And the real question everybody's dying to know the answer to is pooping.
Pooping? How do I poop? Uh-oh.
How do you poop? But I don't mean anatomy and physiology. I mean, where do you poop?
Where? Okay. Yeah, that is a popular question amongst people that are living out of vans. I've got this little Nomadic portable toilet that is very comfortable to sit on. I've used this a couple different ways. Of course, first, the way you're supposed to use it, you add a chemical into it to keep the smells and odors down. And you do your business, and it goes into a small holding tank, which you have to empty at like an RV dump or in a normal flushing toilet. And that's kind of a pain. It's kind of convoluted process, so I have just been lining it with a bag and using it more like a compost toilet and disposing of it anyway, you know, anyone that would dispose of a baby or adult diaper or, you know, waste from a cat box goes right in the trash in a bag, and it works out really good. I usually just slide it out to this area here, do my business, slide it back out of the way, and that's where it sits. Also in this area, I do have my water source for inside the van. I showed what I use outside. This has a nice pump on it. This is a 2-gallon jug. It's empty right now. I need to refill it from my outside jug, and it's just in a out of the way place, and I can fill up my coffee pot or use it for cooking or whatever I need to. And then also residing under the desk, I have a storage box, my laundry detergent, a bottle of bleach, and this is a diesel heater. That's how I heat the van when I'm in cold places. It runs off diesel or kerosene, and it's pretty much self-contained. It exhausts outside the van, so there's no fumes, no worry of any carbon monoxide buildup. It just is a forced air heater, and it works really good. Gets the van nice and toasty. It's a little loud on the outside of the van from the exhaust, so I try not to use it when I'm camped by other people. So that's kind of what's going on underneath the desk. I will overlay some footage of my little power center, which you can't see from that angle. That has my solar charge controller, my fuse block where all my accessory ports, lights, and fans are all fused, and then also my AC outlet box that I have wired to my inverter, which is underneath the bed, and then also I have my battery bank, and that's connected to the solar panels on the top of the van, 200 watts of solar, 360 amp hours of battery bank, and a 2000 watt Xantrex inverter to provide AC power from the DC batteries.
Wow. You've got pooping, power, heat, and water all within 3 square feet.
Yeah, it's nice and cozy.
Incredible, incredible.
Amazing.
All right, now we're in the back of the van. Tell us a little bit about what you have going on back here.
Okay, now we're looking at the back portion of the van. See the back 2 doors here. I do have them blocked out with Reflectix. Kind of helps with privacy and keeps a little bit of the heat out or the cold out, depending on the time of year. And what can I say? I'm obviously sitting on the bed couch. This does slide out into a bed. We can show you that a little later. And this part of the couch gets used to fill out the bed area. It's fairly comfortable to sit on. You know, vans are kind of angled like this, so if you kick out the bottom of this cushion here, it makes it a little bit more comfortable. And I built this bed up quite high to accommodate a lot of storage. So sitting on it, my feet kind of just hang. It's not very comfortable. So I have this fold-up stool I can use at the side door or inside if I'm ever sitting here. And it just makes it a lot more comfortable to sit. I can store my down comforter and pillows for sleeping in the back when I'm not using it as a bed. And I've got a acoustic guitar that I like to play, and this helps keep it out of the way. Use this cargo net kind of clipped to this back here, keeps it up out of the way. Can unhook it and slide it out when I'm ready to play, and it's a good thing to have on hand. It keeps me entertained and something to work at. And as you can see, this mess up here is all my clothes, other than the socks and underwear up front. I roll up my clothes to store them more efficiently, and can pretty much fit everything I own up there. And this back corner section is kind of like a second garage area where I keep an inflatable kayak, everything to go with the kayak. I've got a paddle that breaks down into 4 small pieces, my PFD to use for the kayak, helmet for my mountain bike, helmet for my dirt bike, and I also store my laundry back there that needs to be washed. Keeps it kind of out of the way. Yeah, it can get a little stinky.
That'd be humming back there.
Yeah, so this back window does open up to kind of keep things aired out if I need to. But really, it doesn't smell that bad.
It doesn't.
What else can we look at?
What about the shelving that you have here?
Shelving, yes. I built this shelving unit as well. It's bolted super securely to the side main frame rail there in the floor. I've got a total of 4 shelves as well as the lower storage section. Keep the propane tank, the 1-gallon refillable propane tank for my stove there. And then I also have the other tank I use for outside cooking and the hot water heater for the shower. Keep a lot of my canned goods, jarred goods down here. Food goods here that I use most. It's easy to access. Got a cutting board I store in there. And moving up, I've got like my bathroom toiletry section here. Some more accessories, camera gear and stuff like that. And then moving up, I've got some more kitchenware, pots and pans, little storage containers, another little cutting board and such. And just try to keep everything organized and in its place so when I need it, I can find it as easy as possible. Some more items up top I don't use so often, but they're there when I need them. Installed a little fold-up hook here so I can just hook some things, keep my hat, another little ditty bag there. And I got another 12-volt fan I can use to circulate even more air. And that's pretty much it.
All right, and what about under the bed?
Under the bed, more storage. I've got a lot of storage under here. I built it up high for that reason. Can fit 2 of these Rubbermaid bins stacked. And I've got a total of 6 of those. This is where I keep a lot of my auto mechanic tools and camping gear that I use for camping away from the van. Got my battery bank and inverter under there. So really handy to have that storage space. Got it all labeled so I know what's in each bin. And then I've got an open space behind those bins for the things that I use outside. So when I break down camp, I can bring in the table, the water heater for the shower, all the shower accessories, the shower tent, stuff those all in the back under the bed. So everything's in its place and out of the way and ready to find our next camp.
So important for everything to have its place.
It really helps. Otherwise, things are just everywhere, and when you go to try to find something, you end up tearing your van apart. That can get ugly real fast, cause a lot of frustration, end up bumping elbows, hitting your head, and the next thing you know, you're cussing and swearing and wishing you didn't live in a van.
Okay, and now you're going to demonstrate how this bed works. Tell us a little bit about the bed, the mattress and the frame and the setup for the slat bed.
Yeah, built all this custom as well, kind of using a slat system. You'll see how that works. This is an IKEA foam mattress. I believe it's the full size, and I took and cut it so that it would fit size-wise, having a back cushion here and then the main cushion here. Again, I can sleep on this just myself, and it's fairly comfortable. Can actually slide it out just a little bit, push this cushion over some, have a little bit wider of an area, but the most comfortable setup is when I have it slid out. First off, this is very simple and crude. I just have these spring claps to keep this mattress from flopping out, so I just hook it on the top portion of the sheet and mattress, holds it up there, so I'm ready to do the conversion here. I just pull those clamps, and then the next step is to slide out the slat portion. So we'll see if we can do this so you can actually see it. That's what the slats look like. So that slid out all the way there. So now the next step is to just slide out the lower mattress over to here and then flip down the back mattress. Then I got a nice big full-size bed. Just goes like that, real quick and easy. Got to kind of slide them around to get them to sit even. And that is pretty much it. So that's the mattress there in full mode. There is, of course, where the 2 mattresses meet, there can be a little bit of a gap. So I just take a little piece of pool noodle and kind of shove it by the rib of the van, and it keeps them pushed together. And the other mattress pushes up against the shelf and the kitchen drawer here. So it keeps it pretty smooth. You actually don't feel much of that little gap between the 2 pieces of mattress. Go ahead and take the pillows, set the pillows here, roll out the comforter. Got a nice, comfy, full-size bed. And now we'll show you the reverse. Pretty easy in the morning after sleeping in a very nice, comfortable, big bed. I just flip this portion up here, kind of flip it all the way over, slide the whole mattress back. Then I can step in here and slide the slats in. They slide right in real quick and easy like that. Go ahead and put up the mattress. Use my very custom setup here with the spring clamps. Stack my comforter rolled up and the pillows in the back again, and I'm right back to couch mode, ready for travel.
Okay, and we're in the back of the van now. Tell us about your setup on the back.
All right, to carry my extra toys, my mountain bike and my old Honda trail bike, I do have this rack set up here. Got a raised hitch to bring it up because a lot of times on a van, they drag so low that any off-road travel, dirt roads, they'll scrape. So I installed some airbags. I've got a set of airlift airbags on the van to help keep the back end up. And then I'm able to load up the trail bike, the mountain bike, get them locked up real securely. And that's how I towed around my toys. So that pretty much wraps up the van tour. I appreciate you guys checking it all out. Thank you to Wild Wonderland for doing the filming. And we'll see you guys on the road.